Hel, the Norse goddess of death, is a being of striking contrasts. She rules over Niflheim, the realm of the dead, with an iron will and a heart as cold as the icy winds that sweep through her domain. Her beauty is undeniable, yet it is a terrible, chilling beauty. It is said that to look upon her is to see the very essence of life and death intertwined. One half of her face is as fair and lovely as a summer day, radiating warmth and vitality. The other half is a skeletal visage, a stark reminder of her dominion over the dead. This duality is a reflection of her role as the gatekeeper between the worlds of the living and the dead. Her eyes are pools of endless night, flecked with glints of icy fire. They seem to pierce through the soul, revealing the deepest fears and secrets of those who dare to meet her gaze. They hold the wisdom of ages and the cold indifference of the grave. In her eyes, one can see the passage of time, the rise and fall of empires, and the inevitable end that awaits all. Hel's attire reflects her dual nature. She is often depicted wearing a gown that is as complex and multifaceted as she is. She often appears in a flowing gown of the darkest midnight blue, almost black. This gown seems to absorb the light around it, creating an aura of mystery and foreboding. The fabric seems to shimmer and shift like shadows themselves, moving with an ethereal grace that is both mesmerizing and unsettling. Intricate silver embroidery depicting scenes of death and rebirth adorns the gown. These scenes tell the stories of those who have passed through her realm, each stitch a testament to her power and influence. These are not mere decorations, but powerful runes that amplify her already formidable powers. Each rune is a symbol of her dominion, a mark of her authority over the dead and the living alike. Hel stands as a solitary figure in the desolate landscape of Niflheim, her presence commanding and unyielding. She is both a guardian and a judge, a figure of awe and fear. The spirits of the dead look to her for guidance, and she leads them with a firm hand. Her realm is one of order and structure, where every soul has its place. Yet beneath her cold exterior there lies a hint of compassion. She understands the pain of loss and the sorrow of parting, for she too is a part of the cycle of life and death. Hel is a complex and enigmatic figure, embodying the delicate balance between life and death. She is a reminder that even in the darkest of places there is a glimmer of light, and in the coldest of hearts there is a spark of warmth. A palpable aura of dread surrounds Hel. This aura is not just a mere shadow, it is a living, breathing entity that clings to her like a second skin. It pulses and throbs with a life of its own, casting an eerie glow that seems to suck the warmth out of the air. It hangs about her like a shroud, sending shivers down the spines of even the bravest warriors. These warriors, who have faced countless battles and stared death in the face, find themselves unnerved by her mere presence. Their hands tremble, and their hearts race as if they are facing an insurmountable foe. Her very presence evokes the chill of the grave. The air around her grows cold, and a sense of foreboding fills the atmosphere. It is as if the very essence of death has taken physical form, wrapping itself around her and anyone who dares to come near. Hel emanates an aura of chilling dark energy that can sap the strength of those around her. This aura creates an atmosphere of despair and hopelessness for her enemies, while empowering her allies, granting them enhanced strength and resilience. Enemies are paralyzed by terror, their minds filled with images of their own demise. They see visions of their worst fears, their darkest nightmares brought to life by the mere sight of her. Their bodies refuse to move, as if rooted to the spot by an invisible force. This aura is not merely a psychological weapon, it is a manifestation of Hel's power over death itself, a dark energy that she wields with terrifying precision. It is a force that can snuff out life with a mere thought, a reminder of her dominion over the mortal realm, a tangible reminder of her dominion over the souls of the departed. She commands the spirits of the dead, bending them to her will and using them to further her own ends. They are her eyes and ears, her soldiers in the eternal battle between life and death. To stand before Hel is to stand on the precipice of oblivion, to feel the icy breath of the grave on your neck. It is to confront the ultimate truth of mortality, to face the end of all things and the beginning of the unknown. In her presence, all illusions are stripped away. leaving only the stark reality of death. Hel commands a chilling arsenal of abilities, each one a testament to her mastery over death and darkness. As the ruler of the underworld, her powers are vast and terrifying, instilling fear in the hearts of even the bravest warriors. Her presence alone can send shivers down the spine, a constant reminder of the thin veil between life and death. The veil of shadows allows her to vanish from sight, melting into the darkness like a phantom. This ability makes her nearly impossible to track, as she becomes one with the shadows, moving unseen and unheard. Whether she is stalking her prey or evading capture, the Veil of Shadows is her ultimate tool for stealth and surprise. She can use this power to ambush her enemies or to slip away when confronted with overwhelming odds. In the heat of battle, Hel's ability to disappear and reappear at will gives her a significant advantage, allowing her to strike from the most unexpected angles. Her enemies never know where she will appear next, making her a formidable and unpredictable foe. With a mere thought, she can summon dark energy constructs. These constructs are manifestations of her will, taking on various forms to suit her needs. They can be used to attack, defend, or even manipulate the environment around her. The dark energy that fuels these constructs is a reflection of her own power, a tangible representation of her dominion over the forces of darkness. These shadowy figures rise from the ground, taking on monstrous forms to tear at her foes. Each creature is a nightmarish vision, designed to instill terror and chaos among her enemies. They are relentless in their pursuit, driven by Hel's unyielding will. The sight of these dark minions emerging from the shadows is enough to break the spirit of even the most hardened warriors. Woe to those ensnared by her spectral chains. These chains are not just physical restraints but are imbued with dark magic, making them nearly impossible to break. Once ensnared, the victim is at Hel's mercy, unable to escape the cold grip of the chains. Forged from the essence of despair, they bind not just the body but also the soul, draining the life force of their victims. The chains feed on the victim's fear and suffering, growing stronger with each passing moment. To be caught in Hel's spectral chains is to face a fate worse than death, as they slowly sap away the very essence of life, leaving nothing but an empty husk behind. Hel's power extends beyond the grave. She is a mistress of necromancy, capable of summoning vast armies of the dead to do her bidding. With a gesture, she can reanimate fallen warriors, their eyes glowing with eerie green fire. These undead legions are relentless and terrifying, driven by her will to crush all opposition. But Hel's dominion over life and death is not limited to destruction. She can manipulate shadows, twisting them into shields to deflect attacks or into blades to strike her enemies. She can absorb the souls of the living, adding their strength to her own, and heal even the most grievous wounds. Hel is a brilliant tactician, her mind as sharp and cold as a glacier. She never rushes into battle, preferring to observe her opponents from the shadows. She studies their strengths and weaknesses, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. Her attacks are precise and devastating, aimed at exploiting her enemies' vulnerabilities and shattering their resolve. Hel is a master of psychological warfare. She preys on the fears of her opponents, using illusions and nightmares to break their spirits before the battle even begins. Her chilling laughter echoes across the battlefield, sowing seeds of doubt and despair in the hearts of her enemies. While Hel prefers cunning and strategy, she is a terrifying force when unleashed. As Hel stands poised in her darkened realm, her form shrouded in shadows, she begins to transform. Her features sharpen, revealing a fierce beauty mixed with an unsettling aura. Her black hair flows like smoke, and her eyes glow with an otherworldly luminescence. With a powerful surge, her body expands, muscles rippling beneath her skin as she morphs into a massive mountain-sized winged demon. Her once delicate frame now boasts a towering height, adorned with obsidian scales that shimmer like the night sky. Each scale catches the faintest light, reflecting hues of deep purple, black and blue. From her back erupt enormous wings, vast and feathered, yet reminiscent of jagged obsidian shards. These wings unfurl with a resounding crack, casting an imposing shadow over the land. Her claws elongate into sharp talons, and her presence radiates an aura of dread and power. This transformation enhances her already formidable abilities. Her eyes burn with icy fire, and her voice becomes a chilling rasp that can freeze the blood in your veins. Her strength and speed increase tenfold, allowing her to move with terrifying swiftness. Her attacks become infused with dark energy, capable of obliterating even the most durable defenses. Hel is a mistress of unconventional warfare. She will readily use deception, misdirection, and psychological manipulation to gain an advantage over her enemies. She has no qualms about retreating from a battle if it means fighting another day. She sees no shame in using her enemies' strengths against them, turning their own tactics back upon them with deadly efficiency. Against overwhelming odds, Hel will employ hit-and-run tactics. She will strike swiftly and decisively, inflicting as much damage as possible before vanishing back into the shadows. She will wear down her enemies' morale, picking them off one by one until they are too exhausted and demoralized to continue fighting. Hel is a being of immense power and terrifying beauty. She is the embodiment of death itself, a force that inspires both awe and terror in equal measure. Her chilling aura, her mastery over death and darkness, and her cunning mind make her a formidable opponent. No one, not even the gods, can escape her grasp forever. She is the inevitable end, the finality that awaits us all. And yet there is a strange beauty in her inevitability, a reminder that death is simply another part of the grand cycle of life.